What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We have some midweek action this week. It's been a while since we've had midweek action for the MLS. Actually, might be the first of the year? No, well, we had some US Open action midweek last week, but we have some action, so let's just jump right in and do some predictions. So first up, we have Philadelphia Union versus Inter Miami. Currently, the Union are on a winless streak pretty much. Currently, they have 4 draws and 1 loss, whereas Miami has 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Currently, the Philadelphia Union have not won in the last 6 matches, which is crazy to me. They haven't kept a clean sheet either in those 6 matches, whereas Inter Miami has not scored in the last 2 away games. This one was kind of hard for me to pick and predict. I always talk about how good Philadelphia is at home at Subaru Park, but I do think that they will get back on their winning ways here. Inter Miami is very inconsistent. Thought that they were turning it around, but then they went on a 2-game losing streak. Kind of got back to it, but their last win was against South Georgia, so in the US Open Cup. So I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia winning this game 2-1 there at Subaru Park. So next up, we have the New York Red Bull versus Chicago Fire. This one is going to be a good one also. Even though that New York Red Bull are 5th in the table, whereas Chicago is actually 14th, Chicago has nothing to lose at this point. Chicago needs to start winning games. They are currently on a 5-game losing streak, which blows my mind. And then for the Red Bull, currently they are on they have 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5 games. So they haven't won at home though in the last 6 matches. That is hard to believe. How do you not win at home in the last 6 matches? And really, Chicago has not won a game in the last 8. And then in the last 5, obviously, they've lost every single one, so they haven't kept a clean sheet in those 5. I think it'll be a good game for a little bit, but then I think with Red Bull, they are scoring pretty good this year. So I'm going to have to go with a 2-0 win for the Red Bull at Red Bull Arena. I mean, they are at home. They need to get a home win. I mean, yeah, it blows my mind that they are that bad at home. Yeah, they haven't won at home in their last 6 matches. So 2-0 for the Red Bull, get there in that losing streak at home. So then we have DC United versus New York City FC. DC United currently are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, whereas New York City is 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. Currently, NYCFC is 6th in the table. DC United is 8th. DC United have scored 7 goals in their last 5 matches, which is pretty good, but New York City have won the last 2 matches against DC United that they've played, but New York City has not won an away game in the last 5 matches. So, well, they haven't won in the last 5 away matches. I'm like, what? They're all 5 of their previous games have been at home, which is understandable why they are 4 wins and a draw. So they're at Audi Field. I do, however, believe that New York City will go into DC United at Audi Field and get the win 2-1. I know that is maybe a surprise pick, but at the same time, it's not. Even though DC is 8th, I just think that New York City is the better team. So, moving on, we have Minnesota United versus LA Galaxy. Currently, Minnesota United are 2 wins and 3 losses, where LA Galaxy are 3 wins and 2 losses. LA Galaxy are currently 4th in the table. Minnesota is 10th. Minnesota have scored 6 goals in their last 5 games. This one was pretty difficult for me. I went back and forth of people winning and losing and was looking at different stats, but ultimately I came up with a 2-2 draw. I think that Minnesota are usually pretty strong at home, but I also think LA Galaxy, like I said in my review yesterday, that I think LA Galaxy is overrated. Yes, they are 4th in the table. You can hate on me for it. I just think they're always overrated. They're always given this like they're one of the best teams and all that, and then they fail. I mean, yes, they are sitting in a playoff spot, but They have a pretty good team. They should be doing better, in my opinion. They shouldn't be losing to like FC Dallas or even Real Salt Lake, which is their 2 losses in the last 5. So yes, 2-2 draw there for Minnesota and LA Galaxy. So we move on to Nashville SC and Montreal. Currently, Nashville is 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, whereas Montreal are on fire. 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. Montreal is currently first in their table, where Nashville is 8th in the West. So struggling a little bit. But a key factor is Nashville is unbeaten in the last 16 games at home. I think, well, yeah, that puts, 2 of them, I believe, at their new field. But also, Montreal is unbeaten in the last 5 away games, and they haven't lost in the last 9 matches. This one was a hard one for me also because of how good Montreal has been. But I think that 9-game, haven't lost streak ends tonight. I think Nashville get it done 3-2 at home. Nashville need to turn it around. I feel like they also have this, they need to have this mentality of they can't hold back. They need to push forward. They get a lot of good looks. The last couple games that I saw, they get into attacking positions and have these opportunities. They're just not putting it in the back of the net. And I think tonight they might do that. So that leads us into the Houston Dynamo versus Seattle Sounders. This one was also kind of a difficult one to do for me because of how good Houston has been. They are currently 6th in the table, whereas Seattle is 11th in the West. So Houston currently have 2 wins and 3 losses, whereas Seattle is 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. The Houston Dynamo and Seattle have not drawn in their last 10 matches against each other, so that's a little bit of a fun fact. And but in the last 5 matches, Seattle has scored 10 goals. So they're averaging in the last 5, 2 goals a game. Like I said, this one was a hard one for me, especially with Houston being at home. But I had to go with Seattle, and I had to go with Seattle 3-1. I just think, like I said in the review, I think the West needs to watch out because Seattle is coming. So Seattle win away, get that away win, 3-1 over the Dynamo. So that puts us at the Sporting KC Colorado Rapids game. Currently, Sporting is 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss, whereas Colorado is 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Colorado set 7th in the table in the West, and Kansas City set 13th. Sporting has actually scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches, and Colorado Rapids have not won an away game in the last 7 away game matches that they've had. With that being said, these 2 teams are very inconsistent to me, and they both draw a lot. So I think that I have to go with another draw between these 2 at Children's Mercy Park. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw there for these 2 teams. Which leads us into Vancouver Whitecaps versus FC Dallas. Yes, I'm very high on FC Dallas right now. They are currently sitting 2nd. Vancouver Whitecaps are sitting 14th in the table. The Whitecaps currently are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, whereas FC Dallas is 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. They are playing in Vancouver, but Vancouver, they have scored 7 goals in their last 5 matches, so that's like 1 point something goals per game. But FC Dallas has Jesus Ferreira, who is the top goal scorer in the league. Paul Arriola is ranked really high with the big chance creations, and I think that that's going to continue. I think that FC Dallas will go on the road and win this game 2-1 over Vancouver Whitecaps. So we'll move on to our second to last game of the night tonight. We have Earthquakes versus Portland Timbers. I do not believe that the Portland Timbers will score 7 goals tonight, so I'll just put that out there. Currently, the Earthquakes are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, where Timbers are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Portland is sitting at 9th in the table, whereas Earthquake are 12th. Timbers have not lost to San Jose Earthquakes in the last 7 meetings. They have won 5 and drawn 2. but Timbers have conceded a lot other than last game. Even though that the Timbers are ranked higher than the Earthquakes, I think Earthquakes get this done at Earthquake Stadium and pretty handedly, 3-1 over the Timbers. Yes, I know the Timbers are coming off of a 7-goal game, but I think that's why. I think that's why they only score 1 here, and the Earthquake win this game 3-1. They just exerted too much energy for that game. So that leads us into our last match of the night, what we all think is going to be a very good game, because up until this past weekend, Austin was second, LAFC is number 1 in the Western Conference, but currently LAFC's form is 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, whereas Austin's is 2 wins and 3 losses, so they've kind of dropped a little bit. LAFC have won their last 3 games against Austin, which that is all they've played against each other. Austin is averaging 2.1 goals a game, which is ranked first, but I actually believe that Austin does not score in this game. They struggle away, and they just can't get it done. So I believe that LAFC come out and show their dominance of the West and win this game 3-0 over Austin FC. So that is the matchups for this weekend. Well, this week, for actually midweek. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like the content, subscribe. I will be dropping another video either tomorrow or Friday for the weekend predictions. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.